During the live broadcast, Jimin commented that the video resolution was better than before because he had replaced his phone. He laughed and mentioned that his hair only grew at the back, and said that he had attended Jin-hyung's concert, which he thought was amazing. He showed off a guitar that he said was given to him by Ryan, although he admitted that he didn't know how to play it and only knew 1 or 2 chords. Jimin explained that he had been feeling very well lately. He mentioned that he had bought a phone stand, but it turned out to be bigger than he had expected, making it a little difficult to see the screen. While talking, he kept looking at the menu on his old phone to decide what to eat. He said he always ordered from the same place and that he had ordered triangular kimbap that day. Laughing, he mentioned several times that Taehyung had said he would join the live stream, but he hadn't shown up yet. He wondered where he was and if he was just watching the stream. At one point, he received a call from Taehyung and wondered if answering it would cut off the live stream. He said he was very hungry and asked again why Taehyung hadn't come yet. Finally, Taehyung joined the live stream. Jimin asked if he could hear him clearly, and Taehyung replied that he could. They started chatting casually. Taehyung joked, "Jimin SSI, this is my ID. I'll give it to you." Jimin laughed and said they would play a game together too. Taehyung replied, "It's a secret." Joking, Jimin said he wouldn't play with him, and they continued discussing which game to choose. Jimin commented that if he had known earlier that he would be joining Jin's concert, he would have tried to lose more weight, because it was very sudden and he didn't have time to prepare. Taehyung apologized while laughing. Jimin then asked him to check the message on his phone so they could join the game properly. During the broadcast, they experienced some technical issues. Taehyung asked if he should use a different connection, and Jimin replied that he should. Taehyung joked about whether the game level was too difficult, and Jimin shook his head. They laughed continuously. Jimin went to get some water, while Taehyung kept trying to connect. When they finally managed to get into the game, they talked about adding background music. Jimin mentioned that the song being played was made by ARMY and said he thought it was great, highlighting his fans' talent. They had fun playing for a while. But soon after, Taehyung's screen went black. Jimin looked confused and started wondering what happened. He wondered if he had kicked Taehyung out of the game or if Taehyung had disconnected on his own. He tried to invite him back, but he didn't know how. He said his phone was getting very hot, probably because it was charging and streaming at the same time. He explained that they had decided to play because, while talking with Taehyung, they saw Jungkook's live stream and thought they'd invite him to play too. However, Taehyung suddenly disappeared. Jimin called him several times, even in English, saying, "Taehyung, come back, please," but got no response. He guessed that maybe he'd had connection problems because of the storm, since Taehyung had told him that all the players in his room had left. Later, Jimin mentioned that a younger friend had asked him for a few days off from his military service, so he was planning to visit him. He said he would call Taehyung after the live stream. He could only say "worded," but that it sounded good in the song. He remembered that it was very cold at Jin's concert, that his hands and nose were freezing. and that he was worried the armies might be cold too. He chose to read that one. It wasn't just any comment, it was one related to Jikook, the duo that has garnered so much affection and attention over the years. The simple fact that Jimin uttered those words, and with such a natural expression, suggests that he knows exactly what he evokes in the audience. It's no coincidence. He's aware of the impact of every gesture, every word, and especially when it involves Jungkook. If he were to ever upload a video or photo wrinkling his nose, it would undoubtedly be a playful sign, a silent way of communicating with those who have followed him for so long. The interactions between Jimin and Jungkook have always had a special energy. They don't need words to convey closeness. A look, a smile, or the slightest gesture is enough for fans to feel that unique connection between them. He thought about putting on some background music and mentioned that he had been testing the setup the night before. Since they had recently had Jin-hyung's concert, he decided to listen to one of his songs and asked if the fans could hear it. Well, while reading the names that appeared on the screen, he commented that a lot of photos were appearing instead of names that day and laughing, exclaimed, "Youngie." He then said that someone's name hadn't appeared and that he had failed again. Joking about the situation, he turned off an audio feature that was making noise and commented that, with the way he was speaking and the camera focusing, he looked like a TV presenter. Once everything was working properly, he wondered what he should do, since he didn't have anything in particular planned. He remembered that the previous day had been Halloween and decided to try the game Poppy Playtime 1. He said he would give it a shot, although he mentioned that he preferred his username not to appear on the screen. He thought about trying another game, but admitted that he was afraid because it seemed too scary, so he decided against it. While adjusting the settings, she chatted with the spectators, laughing at unexpected things she found in the game, like the year of Udong. Then she wondered which character to choose, and, seeing one she thought was very cute, he chose a gorilla. He started playing and, noticing some players fighting amongst themselves, exclaimed playfully, "Hey, why are you fighting if you're on the same team?" The game ended quickly, and Jungkook laughed, saying, "Ah, this brat." He decided to replay the game, but with a different map, since the previous one had ended too soon. He checked the settings to make sure everything was in order and discovered that microphones were available, which surprised him. During the game, he excitedly shouted phrases like, "Hurry up and get in," "Who won?" or "Did the gorilla win?" He was having a lot of fun, although he mentioned that the individual matches ended very quickly. In the middle of the game, he exclaimed, "Oh, Chim Chim," apparently upon seeing something that reminded him of Jimin. As he continued playing, he comically complained whenever something went wrong.